For nearly 2,000 years, one name has stood at the very center of Catholic history: Peter. He was the first to be called by Christ, the first to lead, the first to die for the Church. Yet among more than 260 successors to the papal throne, not one has dared to take the name Peter II. Not in peace, not in chaos, not even in Reformation or Schism. Why? Why is Peter the one name a pope must never take? The story begins not in Rome, but by the waters of Galilee. There, a fisherman named Simon was called by Jesus and given a new name, Peter. The Greek word Petros means rock, and Christ's words were clear. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. This wasn't just a nickname, it was a divine mission. Peter was the cornerstone of the visible church. Peter became the first bishop of Rome, the first to carry the keys of the kingdom. Catholic tradition holds that his authority was unique, personal, and unrepeatable. He would lead, he would teach, and eventually, he would be crucified upside down in Rome, forever linking his sacrifice with the church he helped to build. The name Peter became sacred, so sacred that no one else in the history of the papacy has used it. In church tradition, taking the name Peter would imply equality with the man chosen directly by Christ himself. That's not just bold, it's theologically dangerous. The church has always drawn a distinction. Every pope is the successor of Peter, but none are Peter. To call oneself Peter II would suggest a second foundation, a second rock. And that idea borders on heresy. While there's no canon law forbidding the use of the name Peter, tradition in the Catholic Church is often more powerful than law. Tradition forms identity, it preserves memory, and it avoids pride. There's a deep humility in papal naming traditions. When a new pope chooses a name, he aligns himself with a past figure. But choosing the name of Peter? That crosses a line. Even during times of schism, when there were multiple claimants to the papacy, none chose Peter. Even during reformations and revolutions, none chose Peter. It is an unspoken rule, honored by all. Some medieval theologians even speculated that if anyone did take the name Peter II, it would signify the end times. The final pope, the one of apocalyptic prophecy. Today, the tomb of Peter lies beneath the high altar of St. Peter's Basilica. It is the spiritual heart of the Catholic Church. Every pope who kneels there understands the weight of the office he has inherited, but also the humility it demands. Even the boldest popes, those who changed the world, never claimed to be Peter. They claimed to serve Peter's role, but not his person. And so, the name remains untouched. Out of reverence, out of respect, out of awe. Could a future pope break with tradition? Could someone, perhaps out of ignorance or boldness, choose the name Peter II? Technically, yes, but the backlash would be enormous. It would raise theological and symbolic concerns across the Catholic world. To take the name Peter is not a crime, but it would be a shockwave. It would signal a change not just in name, but in spirit, and in a church that clings to its roots like a tree planted by sacred waters. Some names must remain untouched. In the end, the name Peter belongs to one man, one martyr, one rock. Every pope after him is a steward, not a rival. They wear the fisherman's ring. They sit in the chair of Peter. They guard the deposit of faith. But they never take his name. Because in the heart of the Catholic Church, there is one faith, one baptism, one rock, and his name is Peter.